Hey everybody, it's James with Rowe-Thrush. Welcome to the next Rowe-Thrush live stream interviews, episode 21. On this show, we like to present to the Grainger sales force the suppliers that we represent, as well as the products and solutions that they can bring to you and your customers. Today's show, we will be interviewing Eric with Bridgeport Fittings and their parent company, NSI Industries. But before we bring Eric on, a brief introduction about who Rowe-Thrush is. We are a manufacturer rep agency that represents over 60 brands into Grainger, ranging from lighting and electrical, material handling, hand tools, pneumatics, plumbing products, safety and security, and heating and air conditioning. We have many great resources available to the Grainger sales force, such as these live streams that we do, but also the Rowe-Thrush SharePoint site that has all of our suppliers' Graingerized literature, Rowe-Thrush videos, and much, much more. And with that, would like to welcome Eric to the show.
Hello, James. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you on this beautiful Friday?
You know what? Can't complain. Certainly looking forward to this live stream interview, and I can speak for the Northeast weather here in Connecticut. It's a balmy 40 today.
It's quite warm here too. We're in the upper 30s, not quite where you're at, but we're doing pretty good as well. All the snow's melting though, which that makes me a little sad. I love it when there's a nice clean blanket of snow on the ground.
I agree. It's pretty.
So before we get into who Bridgeport Fittings is, tell us a little bit about yourself. What is it that you do at Bridgeport, and how long have you been working there?
James, I've been with Bridgeport Fittings for coming up on 14 years now. Currently, I'm a technical sales manager for the East. I go out, talk about products, train, showcase, provide a lot of product awareness, evaluate, interpret code articles for contractors, just to give them a better, more efficient way to install their raceway systems. Prior to technical sales, I did product management, and also I had a really good time, a lot of fun with the marketing side of being a manufacturer. And I worked as a technical marketing manager in conjunction with our marketing director. So it was a lot of fun promoting, understanding all the different things that you deal with day to day from a marketing and graphic, and correctly promoting technically and from a campaign standpoint.
Great. Thank you for letting us know about that. There's one other question that I like to ask. I ask all of the people that we interview, and this is just to kind of get to know you. And that is, what is your favorite movie and why?
You know, I cannot get tired of The Godfather. I don't know if it's just a little bit of that half Italian in me that kind of just can't get tired of it. So I enjoy that. I enjoy The Christmas Story with Netflix, and there's been some great movies lately. So I guess, you know what, if you want to remember anything that I say, it's The Godfather. That's the one.
Great movie pick. That is definitely one of those ones that lots of people are big fans of. Question for you though, what did you think of The Godfather 2 and 3?
Yeah, you know, certainly sometimes you say you like the scenes of the older times, you know, from years ago, and it just sometimes doesn't seem as it just seems like a continuation that you almost have to get adjusted to, you know, because you want it to be like the old scenes of old, the older cars even too, right?
Oh
But
yeah.
it's certainly not bad. Not bad.
Okay, good. So getting into Bridgeport, tell us about Bridgeport. Tell us about their history, what it is that they do, and also about their parent company, their new parent company, I should say, NSI Industries.
Yeah, very excited about where we are right now. When I think about when I started, how I was able to learn and work with a privately owned company, Bridgeport Fittings, the brand being so well recognized. You know, I also, as an electrician, forgot to mention that, have a background in electrical work and installation. Remember using the Bridgeport product line prior to coming to Bridgeport. So all those values and the way that we were U.S. and U.S. manufacturing, the history I mentioned U.S. made quality in our Stratford facility plant. I think one of the first and foremost things that I had to become adjusted to was understanding how you manufacture and make sure that you have the top core items that electricians use every day. And it's said right there, the top 16 out of our top 25 items, 16 of them are U.S. made right out of Stratford, Connecticut. So great history, great understanding of how to manufacture and be competitive. You look at some of the industry leading services. Those four areas of service are important to Bridgeport, and they're well executed due to the passionate employees that we have in our facility. With all the supply chain issues, that's one of the areas that we've been able to shine with sourcing material and also having our own resources to make sure we can get these items out to the electricians, our suppliers, keep the shelves stocked, keep the electricians working.
Wow. And hearing that you used to be an electrician too, I'm sure you've seen the innovation that Bridgeport has to offer really kind of makes you happy to be working for a company that makes a product that makes the electrician's job much easier.
It does, James, and we're going to get a little bit into it. You'll see some of the innovative side of the new products that we've come out with, and you think about the CPI, making sure we have customer issues taken care of. We do that in our new product development, making sure that the item is needed, problem solving, labor saving. So it was and is fun for me to be an electrician, know where there happens to be some opportunities for us to have a better fitting, and overall help contractors, help distributors with fewer products in some cases, and the electrician can save on man hours. So there's a comprehensive approach, and we like to hit it. And from being out in the trade, I can talk the talk. I've been there, done it. I've done it the wrong way, and I can do it the right way too now.
That's great. And we'll go to the next slide there. So here we get into some of the types of products that you manufacture. If you want to get into some of that for us.
I think it's a nice way to remind the Grainger sales team about the core product categories. No matter the type of account, electricians are working with liquid tight connectors and fittings, metal clad cable fittings, of course, EMT, rigid metal conduit in your industrial applications in many cases, conduit bodies, clamps and hangers. So again, these 8 categories just get you thinking about the potential product that's one of the customers might need, get you into the right section of the catalog. I mentioned the brands of NSI, Bridgeport now being part of NSI Industries. And I look at the positioning, Torque, Polaris, Platinum Tools. We just fit in so nicely. The category of fittings, the category of terminations and connectors, both mechanical and compression, just a nice way to be a part of an electrical application every day.
Yeah, and we will be reaching out again to yourself and Jason regarding doing future live stream interviews to get into some of these other brands that are available through Grainger as well. And quick comment too for any viewers, please drop into the comments where you're located, what types of customers that you call on, and if you're familiar with Bridgeport. We would love to be able to see that. And if you have any questions for us too, drop them into the comments. That way we can answer them real time for you during the live stream. So when it comes to Bridgeport Fittings, what types of Grainger customers, I should say, would be interested in your products?
This slide here kind of gets us into the core 4 areas of construction. Commercial, light industrial, of course, an emphasis in the last 2 to 3 years on manufacturing. There's a number of facilities that I've had an opportunity to be in, and we see them upgrading, producing more of their own, being that much more self-sufficient with the components that they might work with. And then lastly, solar. solar, the solar application, the solar industry has become a fast growing opportunity for Bridgeport partners like Granger. You look at the application, we focus in on rooftop installations, both residentially and commercially. And there is a number of electrical fittings that need to be outdoor rated and stand the test of time and be installed in a solar application. So the solar contractor is looking to Bridgeport to have a solution for connecting both conduit, EMT specifically in a lot of cases, and even flexible metal conduit.
Yeah, and solar's a big initiative in many places these days. I know I'm interested in getting it at my house. Certainly that's residential, but lots of businesses are going that route. So we don't really need to belabor on that, but solar is definitely a great fit for your products. Now, when it comes to the CBIs or customer business issues, what of those business issues can your products help solve?
Two issues that come to mind right away is cost savings, productivity. And I can tell you from a new product development and even from a core everyday item, making sure that an item, a component threads correctly onto a connector, for example, just the ease of this assembly. Also with a new product, trying to provide a better way for an installer to install, promote workmanship, better performance. I sometimes like to take a step back and say when you're working fast, sometimes the workmanship's not as good. So I think when you look at a cost analysis, a cost savings, increasing productivity, those specific areas are done thoroughly through our engineering and marketing department when developing products. Our manufacturing and engineering is consistently gauging and cleaning tooling to make sure that the simplest of thread engagement is correct. So those tight tolerances are met. So from manufacturing to product development, no matter if it's a historical or traditional item or a new innovative product, we really do make sure that we check all the boxes for quality.
That's great. Now, I think there might be one more CBI that you might fit well with, and that's keep stock. So, do you have any products that would be considered a consumable product or something that is, used very frequently?
Absolutely. And that's a great way for me to kind of wave the manufacturing flag, as you will. And that is those core items, the most popular items, are being manufactured in Stratford, Connecticut. And that's important to us because we know that 70% of our sales volume going out into the field comes from the products that are being manufactured in the United States and in our facility in Stratford, Connecticut. So we can control all the issues that you need to control and have product available. So I kind of look at the top 950 products that we sell as being manufactured and keep stocked, coming out of better availability, maybe I should say it that way, coming from our Stratford, Connecticut warehouse, our master distribution center.
Great. Now, when it comes to putting on your Granger account manager hat,
Okay.
um, what should they be looking for at a customer facility in order to engage that customer to talk about Bridgeport?
That the slide that just came up is a nice way to have that. If you see a wall chart, if you see the Bridgeport orange, again, we joke, we call it the wall of orange, but if there's a crib or a maintenance cart and you see the Bridgeport box on that cart or in that crib area, hey, that tells you that they use Bridgeport, they're aware of Bridgeport fittings. And if a customer is purchasing something, it might be a great opportunity to expand that product line. You find out, what are you working on when it comes to Bridgeport fittings? What type of fittings are you using? Is it rigid conduit or IMC type connectors? Is it EMT work, maybe outdoors? I'm aware that you are putting up some new security cameras? Are you working with some Liquidite on the outside of your building? So like any good salesman, you drill down when you see an opportunity, but you can see the wall of orange, or certainly that orange label from a pretty good distance. So that could be a good starting point, just engaging that customer in the fact that, did you know Bridgeport manufactures? They're a U.S. manufacturer, and start the talk that way. But it is important to understand the raceway, and maybe I can make it a little simpler for the audience. What type of conduit or tubing? Flexible, outdoor, indoor, and then again, maybe you hear about some speed at which a department or cell or addition needs to be done. And when you think speed, you might want to turn to maybe some of our new innovative products that are promoting productivity. So that contractor, that field, that contractor, or I should say maybe the facilities electrician, needs to work a little faster to get this project to meet the completion date.
Yeah, that's great. And if a Grainger account manager is to see the wall chart, the Bridgeport orange, the wall of orange, or those big tags, it's a great indicator that they're currently using Bridgeport. And it's great for you to know that then, because Bridgeport is new to Grainger. We've been in Grainger for 2 or 3 months now, so you may not be familiar that we're currently in Grainger right now. So just wanted to comment on that real quick as well. Now, when an account manager is there at the facility and they've identified, maybe they've seen the wall chart up, who should they be talking to, and what questions should they ask that person?
When I'm out in the field, my experience when I was selling a little bit more than educating and training and marketing would be to meet with that installer, meet with the electrician, meet with the product or project manager. In a lot of cases, they're the hands-on person that knows what he needs. They've been there. They can talk the talk. They know what would be an improvement. They also maybe know why something wouldn't work well for them. Purchasing is important, but I sometimes try to stay clear of that price and availability question. That is important, but there's so much more to a good product. There's so much more to an innovative product. So meeting with the guys that are doing the hands-on, that's the key. The electrician, the facilities engineer, the facilities maintenance electrician, and also project and product managers.
Great. Thank you for answering that. I'm sure that'll be very helpful for Grainger account managers.
And by the way, James, if I may add,
Hmm?
if you don't know, because hey, you're not an electrician, you don't do much installations, you do, you're aware of so many other things. A lot of electricians, or customers, we should say, have no problem helping a salesman understand an application a little bit better. So just asking the question, having the confidence that you want to help him, and he'll realize that you're there for his benefit.
Yeah, great. Thank you for adding that piece too. Now, when it comes to Bridgeport Fittings, we've talked a little bit about some of the features and benefits, but is there anything that you want to expand on that?
I think sometimes when I think about the U.S. manufacturing and having all the right core products available for the Grainger account manager and having them at the location, I also find it valuable to just make you aware of how great, how important it is to have a U.S. manufacturing base here in the United States, but also some of the things that we go through in trying to be competitive, I should say. We certainly worry about recycling our materials, making the most out of the raw materials that we purchase. Zinc alloy, steel, pre-galvanized and strip steel, making straps, hangers, nail plates, having the right corrosion protection, gauging that pre-galvanized type material. Again, the waste management, energy consumptions, making sure we're working as efficiently as we can with the gas volume that we use to melt our zinc alloy. Again, worrying about the environment outside the building, scrubbers, making sure that our equipment is working efficiently, controlling pollution, worrying about EPA. So there's a lot of things that go into U.S. manufacturing of product. And for us to be successful like we have been, goes to show you we're doing a lot of good things here in the United States with our manufacturing facility, and we're able to compete with that foreign manufacturer.
Now, I have to apologize. I kind of noticed you were thrown off a little bit there because we actually did a last minute edit to the presentation this morning, and this slide was supposed to be somewhere else, and there was supposed to be a different slide here. So you did a great job answering that question. But getting into the features and benefits just a little bit more. Scrolling across the bottom of the screen are a bunch of trademark names. I don't know much about this, so if you could explain a little bit about that and about how those products or those trade names can be a benefit to the customer, the end user, in increasing productivity or cost savings.
One of the things that, again, we've done is, again, a comprehensive approach to new product development. The Mighty trademark to different product lines is a way for the Grainger account person to know that those are exclusive items from Bridgeport. Those are items that Bridgeport has developed. And in that formula of product does it allow you to save time? Is it productive? Labor saving? Does it save on material? Is it in compliance? Is it third-party certified by UL or ETL? So there's a lot of good things in the Mighty Bond or Mighty Move or Mighty Right that you see on all these Mighty trademarks that lets you know, and also can be communicated to the customer that, hey, these products are built to provide some type of solution, saving material, labor savings, increasing productivity. And also, I mentioned early on, sometimes when you work fast, the workmanship's not as good. These products will allow you to work fast and promote good workmanship and performance in the field.
Great, thank you for going through that. So next question is, what types of resources are available to the Grainger sales force from Bridgeport?
You're seeing a new ad campaign, Line to Load, and I think it's just a fun way for me to talk about all kinds of product lines, different sizes. You're either from the feeder to the device or from the line side to the load side. It's 4-inch trade size, 3-inch trade size fittings, all the way down to branch circuit cable connectors, where you're connecting 12-2, 12-3, 10-2 type MC cable. So the campaign Line to Load is a way for all of our different products and different categories to fall into that campaign. And as far as resource sales tools that are available, the YouTube videos are very helpful, a good way to get a feel for application and the product's feature and benefit. Sell sheets and brochures. We do a lot with pictures. Again, it's real simple. We grew up with hearing a picture is worth 1,000 words. And so a lot of our application photos really help both the salesman, the account manager, and the customer see the opportunity or the value for the product. The big tag, number 3 down. The big tag is just a real simple way to identify a product line or product category. The big tag would be attached to the product that you're showing. And it also provides a neat little tool in the back, and that is the Grainger account manager can put his business card in the big tag, and that way the customer will know who's been thinking about his facility, his project, recognizing a roughing in product that can help save some time or solve a problem. So again, nice way for him to recognize what sales, what branch of Grainger is, or the Grainger location that is showcasing the product. And also it's a cliff note of sort. You could take your camera to the QR code, see a product specification page, see some product information, and then also scroll down to a video. So a good way to either prepare yourself for a presentation to a customer, also a good leave behind so he knows who it is he needs to contact when he's ready to buy them. and then again, an extension of other sizes and how big the product line might be. It's called the Big Tag.
Yeah, I think that's a great little add-on that you guys did there to help promote the product, the expansion of the line, adding in that QR code and that simple little sleeve to put in a business card. So great ideas that you guys had there. Now, when it comes to upcoming trade shows, what trade shows are you guys attending anytime soon?
Yeah, there's a great slide there. And it's just before I dive into the trade show and that opportunity, which I'm certainly looking forward to, the Grainger show that's coming up, is the training and webinars. With all the new products, you're going to see an opportunity for the Grainger account managers to just be trained, get some education, learn the features and benefits. And again, it's the new product versus maybe a traditional installation. So I certainly want to promote the trainings, both in person or virtually. We're certainly committed to that, and giving the Grainger account manager all the right tools when it comes to presenting a product. In regards to the trade shows, we've got, again, as I mentioned, that great Grainger show coming up. I think what you see from these three is the opportunity to meet with the end user. The National Electrical Code, that is a IBEW sponsored event. It's national. This year coming up in Austin, you would see the largest contractors across the country attending that show. And it's a good way for us to get our new products recognized, reinforce the brand, and that we are thinking about roughing in conduit and cable. The IEC is the independent electrical contractor show that, again, we meet with those guys that are out in the field, hands-on, both prefab in the shop and out in the field doing the installs.
It looks like we have a question here as far as how many patented proprietary products does Bridgeport have to offer? That's a great question.
Yeah, it is a great question. And I think when you think about each product, there's up to 100, maybe like 90 different patents. When you look at a product line, then you have different trade sizes. So we get into probably over 500 SKUs, 600 SKUs of new products. But as a product line, very close to 100, Mark, very close. Probably just a little over 85 to be exact.
Looks like he's got another question here. Do we have any color-coded EMT fittings? And what do the color codes mean? Are there any specification applications for the different colors?
Mark, the National Electrical Code does not have a specific article calling out what color for what application. The engineering community has seen the value in having exterior identification of a circuit. So we do have colored EMT connectors, the set screw version. We've done a very good job increasing our inventory. We go from 1/2 inch all the way to 4-inch trade sizes in both our connector and coupling. Again, they are set screw. We have a patented design on the connector where the front of the threads are color coded so that when the connector is in the box, you can identify what that circuit is. As far as the colors, they've taken on their own designation. We see blue with low voltage, datacom. We see green with emergency communications, nurses call for aid. I've been in airports and seen green connectors and couplings, and it again identifies an emergency communication system. Red, of course, is the life safety, fire alarm, emergency generation type circuitry identifier. Black, we see a lot of black being used in restaurants and strip malls where they want the silver. They do not want to see the silver connector in the dark ceiling. So it's an aesthetically pleasing black color to blend into an environment. White, the same way. So again, full line, great question, and all the way up to 4-inch trade sizes. And I can tell you product available, both in connector and coupling.
I think that's really cool how you also do it on the inside of it. So when you're looking from the junction box, that you can tell, what circuit that is. So that's really cool that you guys do that.
I think of a maintenance person coming up to a panel, knowing
Yeah.
there's a potential problem. He opens it up. He
Yep.
can see a red connector. He might know that's the generated circuit that's going to the computer room or going to a specific server area. So
Yep.
again, a nice way to cut down on the time trying to trace it the old way.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's great. Makes it a lot easier to work on. Now, regarding the Granger show, we have the booth number here. It's 2146. Bridgeport Fittings will be located in the NSI Industries booth, along with Polaris and Torque. So make sure you come and stop by the booth to learn about those other brands and also ask any questions that you may have regarding Bridgeport. Eric, will you be down there at the Granger show this year, or will others from NSI be attending?
I will not be attending, but I will be putting together some of the Bridgeport product and collateral for Jason Hicks, our national accounts manager, great guy that I get to work with. And he's been trained on Bridgeport twice now, so he'll be able to answer everybody's question.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for letting us know that. And we're going to wrap things up now, but before we exit out, we do have a video that we're going to play at the very, very end here in a moment. So we're going to end things a little differently. But just want to say thank you to everybody for watching the video. Thank you, Eric, for joining us here today. I hope everybody finds this beneficial. Both a video and audio recording of this live stream will be available on the Rowe-Thrush SharePoint site. That way, anybody that has access to it can go ahead and take a look at them there. And also a reminder about when our next live stream interview will be, and that is next Friday, February 18th. And we will be interviewing Wire Express. And sticking to the electrical theme, we're going to get into the world of wire and cable. So with that, again, thank you very much, Eric. I hope
pleasure being with you today.
Yeah, and I hope everybody has a great weekend. And Laura, play the video, please.
Enjoy the video.
In a world where electrical guys have to be tough to sell a fitting, Ted Livingston had it tougher than most. Years on the front line couldn't prepare him for the new business landscape. It seemed that every path he took was a dead end. Around every corner, he ran into a wall. Sales calls, walls of bad timing. Meetings.
So I believe we can maximize our return on investment.
Wall. Oh, wall.
Wall. Wall.
Walls of misunderstanding. Trainings. Walls of inattention. Romantic weekends away with his wife? She prefers a mall with sales on every wall. Ted hated walls. Can you blame him? And then, something changed. No one saw it coming. Not Ted. Not competitors. Not his mall-crawling wife. Now, there's a new wall in town. Instead of a dead end, it was a gateway to more sales, greater opportunity, happier customers. Ted finally had the tool he needed to excel, to fulfill his destiny. All that from a wall? You bet your brick and mortar ass.